What's up, gamers? Early last year, I went on a bit of a music adventure to listen to all the great tunes I hadn't heard yet. Up until then, I wasn't too big on listening to music. Most of my experience came from whatever was on the radio and the two Bruno Mars albums I had on iTunes. So I decided enough was enough. I'm gonna listen to real music like everybody else. And just maybe, people won't see me as that loser who listens to the Rhythm Heaven Fever soundtrack, okay? If anything, they're the losers for not listening to it. It's great. It's great music. On my adventure, I somehow found myself listening to Kanye West. Of course, I'd heard of him, but I always figured he was someone who was just super rich and famous, but just made music. Turns out, I couldn't get much wronger. I started out with Graduation, and I loved it. I thought it was great. So I moved on to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Not My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. It's his album called My Beautiful... You get it. It was another great album. This Kanye guy is pretty good. Oh, let's try listening to this album. It looks like it has a CD on the cover. Yeah, I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Eventually, I made my way through his entire discography, and kaboom, now I'm a Kanye fan. One day, while I was perusing YouTube, I got recommended a video called Kanye West 2049 Alternate Universe Leak, and I think to myself, that sounds like the coolest thing ever, so I give it a listen. And was it? Well, it was no Rhythm Heaven Fever, but it was pretty good. 2049 is a fan-made mashup album created by TahDahTrav. One thing you should know is that a lot of my favorite albums tell some kind of story, whether it's told through song lyrics and interludes, or music videos and other external things. The reason I bring this up is that 2049 also tells a story through its prologue and epilogue. The album takes place in the year 2049, where Kanye has been missing for 30 years, and mankind is in danger of being wiped out by global warming. The US government develops a device that they can use to transport resources between universes. Their plan is to use the device to take resources from an alternate universe where global warming was taken care of earlier. When the device is activated, a flash drive appears containing a never-before-heard Kanye album. So the story is a little corny, but it's fun, and at the end of the day, it's a mashup project. It doesn't need a heartfelt masterpiece of a story. Of course, story alone can't carry your album, so what about the music? I'm not going to play much of it here for copyright reasons, but let me tell you, this is some next level stuff. The album samples instrumentals and vocals from all across Kanye's history and mashes them all together, creating the ultimate Kanye experience. Everybody knows Lift Yourself could have been a masterpiece if Kanye didn't decide to take a dump all over it, so 2049's remix gives it the greatness that it deserves. I personally think Jesus is King has some of Ye's best instrumentals, but they're ruined by the dull, Christian-themed lyrics. 2049 takes those Jesus is King instrumentals and overlays lyrics from his older songs. For example, Toasty's Wolves Part 2 samples I Love Kanye over the instrumental from Water, and it's awesome. It's pretty cool how Toasty turned the tables on Kanye's signature style of sampling by sampling Kanye's own work. I actually prefer a lot of the remixes on this album to the originals. I've listened to these mashups so many times that when I go back to listen to the originals, I'm kind of just underwhelmed. Like that's it? After 40 minutes of musical bliss, the album's epilogue reveals that the flash drive was sent from a universe where Kanye is the president and the world is at peace. That universe planned to use interdimensional travel to help universes that weren't able to combat climate change. They sent the flash drive as a warning that if their world continues down its current path, it's not going to end up too good. This alternate universe and the mixtape as a whole symbolizes redemption. Thanks to the alternate dimensions warning, this universe has a rare second chance to get things back on track. The Kanye songs that were dragged down by something, or even songs that were never released, get a chance to reach their full potential. Anyway, I doubt I was supposed to read this far into the story of a fan-made Kanye album, but it does do a pretty good job at raising awareness for a quite serious topic. Toasty is an absolute legend. They've already released the sequel to this album, Good Kid Twisted Fantasy, which is a mashup between My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, not mine, it's the name of the album, and Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid Mad City. The story of that album seems to set up even more shenanigans in this Kanye-verse that Toasty has created. If you're a Kanye fan, you have to listen to this album, and if you're not, don't listen to it, I guess. Also, go subscribe to Toasty Digital. As I said, they're a legend and way more talented than I could ever hope to be. That's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. And those losers don't know what they're talking about. This music is awesome.